providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Caregiver Crossing. Thank you so much for being here. I'm your producer, Noah Taylor, with our host.
I'm Tina McIntosh.
Hi, Tina. If this is your first time joining us, Caregiver Crossing is a show brought to you by Joyce House, presented in partnership with Cardon & Associates. And we're right here with you each week to discuss all things caregiving. So, Tina, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. In fairness, I've not been really myself since my brain radiation.
I think that seems fair. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I think here's something I will say that maybe can help somebody else too. Like when you're going through something, no matter how big or small, I mean, it can be your potassium's low.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's brain radiation. Like, just give yourself some grace. And so for me, I have been told that I will be this version of myself probably till April. And by then we'll know if my tumor is shrinking at all, which will be, mental relief and physical relief. But yeah, just the radiation it's zapping. I mean,
Right.
It's so silly. Like I joke like, well, they put a very pointed nuclear bomb in my head.
Well,
so I guess being tired's okay, but
that does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're like, oh, wow, I don't have as much personality as you're used to. I don't. And I get really tired by early afternoon. So that's my honest answer. I am not 100% me.
Well, I think that's important. It's important to give yourself grace when you're
Yeah.
going through something. I mean, which brings me up to another point that we're talking about for people who are going through a really, really hard time in their life. So we've actually got a tip here, preparing your loved one for an adult day program, which we love adult day programs here at Joyce House. It can be a really, really big decision for you and your loved ones.
Well, and let me say this too, as we're prepping this conversation. Joyce House is in Broad Ripple with our adult day program, and Caregiver Crossing, for those who don't know, is brought to you by Joyce House. We are a not-for-profit adult day service and caregiver support and education. And so if you're a caregiver, we're glad you're here. Email me, tina@joycehouse.org. We have other ways we can help you too. But our adult day services are located in Broad Ripple and at the University of Indianapolis. I also want to be very clear. We're not your only adult day service option.
Right.
There are other wonderful adult days wherever you're listening to this program. On podcasts, you could be in California listening to this podcast. There are great adult days there too. So you can email and we'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll get you.
So this is wherever you go, right?
People.
Not just Joyce House.
Right. Yes. Yep. This is for choosing the best adult day program for your loved one. And if you're considering adult day service for socialization and safety, we've got some tips, which actually follow along with the 5 senses. So the first one we've got here is sight. So is the space bright? You think about some of these questions when you're taking a tour of the adult day. Is the space bright? Is it cheerful? Is it clutter-free? Are there messes? Is there enough space for the guests there? Is there a quiet area, or is there even an outdoor area?
Important.
Very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is the sound. I'm going to say this and then I want to have a follow up, but are there positive interactions? How is the staff working with the guests? How are the guests working with each other? What are you hearing when you're in there? Is there music? Is there quiet? Because quiet's important too. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, no matter when you walk into a center, you're going to have moments when you catch people not at their best, where the sounds aren't pleasant, or the smells, which is next, aren't pleasant, right? I mean, this is just, I say the same thing about my home. There are going to be days you come into my house and I've got some really lovely music playing and my dogs are all cuddled up together and my family's harmonious and there's a candle or something cooking in the background. It smells like blueberry muffins, and everything. You think like, wow, how is this a thing?
Yeah.
And then you come back an hour later and I'm like, you're in timeout and you shut your face. And
someone's crying in the corner.
I burnt the muffins.
Yes.
I mean, so recognize that too when you're looking.
Give them some grace.
Noah, would you like to talk about smell?
Yeah. Smell is really important.
Mm-hmm.
How does it smell? I think there are good smells and bad smells, and we know the difference between the two. I think that's really enough said.
Yep, fair enough. Taste. If you want to, ask for a sample of the lunch, or just even see what the lunches are, that is important to your loved one. As someone who's been doing adult day for 25 years, I can tell you, if the lunches are not good, the guests are not happy. Mm-hmm. Food is really important to us.
Especially if your loved ones have dietary restrictions or anything like that. Yeah.
Yep.
The last one we have here is feel. And this one's really important. How does the space make you feel? Really trust your instincts. How do you feel about the staff and the guests? If your loved one toured the space, how would they react to the staff and the feel of the space?
I love that. And then, make sure you're talking to other centers. So if you go to one, you fall in love, that's great. Look at others. You are shopping for what is the best environment for the safety and care and enhancement of your loved one. And so, shop around. We recommend at least 2 days a week. If you're not bringing your loved one at least 2 days a week, the routine is not working. And for anybody, for staff, for, your loved one, for you. And so at least 2 days a week is really good. We recommend more like 4 is usually a good amount. We all crave routine. And so, and the other thing I will tell you about this is your loved one is probably for a while going to get in the car at the end of the day and tell you they hated it. They sat in the same spot. They didn't get lunch and everybody was mean.
And I never want to go back.
And I'm not like those people. And it's okay. It's okay. But ask the staff for the reality. Ask them for pictures if you want.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Some there are closed circuit TV monitors you can look in, or you can come back and watch the footage, because it is a hard thing to ramp into. But you got to get your loved one to the adult day for about a month.
It is a big adjustment. Yeah, it takes some time.
It's your job to get them in the car and get them to us.
Yes.
It's our job to get them to fall in love with us and to be safe and cared for and, enhance their lives while they're here. So I know we're going to have to take a break. Before we do, how do people get past episodes of the show?
Well, you can actually find past episodes of the show at caregivercrossingradio.org. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook too. And if you would like to connect with us to discuss any show topics, need help connecting with resources, or have any questions that you'd like for us to answer on the air, or just want to say hi or talk to us, you can reach us at 317-254-0828, or you can email Tina at joycehouse.org.
We're going to talk here in just a minute about Caregiver Way, which is one of our caregiver service programs. And
Yes,
so
it is.
I know we've got to take a break, but I just want you to understand that if you are a caregiver, there are services like this. Well, maybe not like Caregiver Way, but there are services out there for you. And so we want to put you in touch with those. So use that email address, that tina@joycehouse.org. Email me, and wherever you are, we will put you in touch. But Caregiver Way, I think if you haven't heard us talk about it yet, you're really going to love what we have to share here in just a few minutes. So stick around.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joyce House in partnership with Cardon & Associates. With locations in Broad Ripple and near the University of Indianapolis campus, Joyce House provides exceptional day services for individuals living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joyce House, we believe that everyone deserves to live their best life, regardless of their abilities. Learn more about our adult day and caregiver support services by calling us at 317-254-0828 or by visiting joycehouse.org today. All right, stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. Who am I?
Who are you?
Didn't I just tell you that I'm like half of my personality right now?
Well, technically you said 40%, which is a little bit less than half.
Ooh, see, I forgot. I'm Tina McIntosh, and you're hearing the voice of the wonderful.
No, it's Ayler.
And we are really excited to have our coworker in studio with us. We've got, if you guys have not caught on to this yet, we have the most incredible coworkers.
We really do. I am spoiled by my coworkers here at Joyce House. They're incredible.
I mean, you like this one so much that you had a meal with him this week.
I did.
Like, you guys are friends.
We had a bottle of wine and shared it.
Wow, you left that part out of the story.
Wow.
Nicholas Sigmund is with us. He is our community and family care coordinator at Joyce House. I get to work really closely with Nick on Caregiver Way, which you've heard us talk about before, but we're going to pretend you know nothing. First of all, What's up, Nick?
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
This is going to be fun.
Feels good to be back on.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and you kind of got thrown into this morning. And so, surprise.
I'm here. I'm happy. Let's do it.
When you talk about Caregiver Way in very simple terms, let's pretend I'm a kindergartner. What would you tell me?
So I feel like I get this question a lot, actually. Like, what do you do for work? So I'm like, oh, well, part of it's Caregiver Way, and it's an online community for caregivers for education and support. And very short.
Boil that down. Online. So
Yes.
it's web-based, and you can also access it from your phone.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Community.
So the community part's, almost, I hate to use the word Facebook because it's safer than Facebook, but it's a place to connect with other caregivers. You can post on there, you can message other caregivers. So
Yeah. Like forum conversations,
forum
right?
conversations. Yes. And that's the community aspect of it.
And just knowing that when you're in Caregiver Way, it's all about family caregiving. Like, we get
Right.
you, we see you, we will do anything we can to support and educate you.
Correct. Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah.
What's the website?
Visit caregiverway.com.
Visit caregiverway.com. The
Yep.
visit part, I always say, is important.
It is.
It is definitely important.
It's important.
Yeah.
Visit caregiverway.com. And, you've been a part of Caregiver Way now for a while.
Yeah.
Do you want to share the inspiration, or do you want me to share the inspiration?
I think that's a good one for you, Tina. I think it is.
I started to ask you and then realized, like, I'm a co-founder for Caregiver Way.
Right.
Maybe
I mean, I
should-
can, but probably you. Yeah.
So years ago, before COVID, pre-COVID times,
Pre-COVID PC.
we were in the industry of healthcare and aging, looking at who is doing what for family caregivers. We had this show for about 10 years at this point, Caregiver Crossing, that you're listening to. And we knew, because of how many of you listen to Caregiver Crossing and all the data and statistics that are out there, that you needed more. That you needed more education, you needed more support, more of that community. I mean, as a caregiver myself, I needed more, and I'm in this industry.
Right.
And so we worked with all of the powers that be in the state of Indiana to say, what are you doing for caregiving? All these different organizations and entities. And long story made short, we came back and said, we're gonna do a thing. We're going to go way out of the box and do something innovative for caregivers, and created this Caregiver Way. And so it is a place where, when you come in, there are several different places in the community of Caregiver Way that you can go. My favorite one, the community is great, like the Facebook Live.
Right, yeah.
It's great. My favorite one is the library. And Nick, you spend a lot of time, you've been building that library.
Yeah.
Can you help people understand what the library is and does for them?
Yeah. So, in there we have over 300 pieces of content, and there's videos in there. There's articles, short reads, there's audio vignettes. And then it's under 5 categories. So self-care, which we start with that intentionally because self-care is so important as a caregiver. So self-care, caring for your loved one, financial and legal, end-of-life care, and life after caregiving. So you can find content in all of those 5 categories depending on your need. Yeah.
All right, so let's pick one. Go ahead and pick one of those categories.
At random?
We're going to play a game here.
All right. Let's see. Let's go with life after caregiving.
All right, Nick, what would be an example of a piece of content that would be in Caregiver Way under life after caregiving?
Yeah, I think Tina, you really actually you come to the top of my
thanks.
mind. You have some good pieces in there, and it's just simple things. So keeping voicemails from your loved one that's passed on. You can maybe pull that up, listen to it, and just to hear that person's voice. So that's one of the things shared in the library.
Yeah.
Oh,
that almost makes me want to cry.
That's really important.
Yeah.
I got to interview my dad for a project before he passed away, a few months before he passed away, and I still saved the video on my phone. It's just nice to hear him talk sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, pick another topic.
Another one? We're
Yeah,
going to go
one
right
more,
into another
one
one?
more.
All right. How about, something really important, but maybe a little bit boring for people, financial and legal.
I mean, in my head, I heard boring, but it's so important.
It is one of the most important.
And I love my friends who do that kind of work. I still find it boring.
It's hard. It's very hard. This is why we need the tips.
Anything come to mind for you, Nick? Nick's like, I suddenly lost my voice.
I have. I mean, there's even a simple thing in there is creating a budget. How to create a budget, factoring in caregiving expenses and how to build that out, because sometimes you don't think of those caregiving expenses and what might pop up. So that's something that's in there.
And these are simple, Noah. Like, I know you've been in Caregiver Way a lot, but these are really simple. We call them, vignettes, these content pieces, but it might be a 2.5-minute video on how to create a budget. And maybe that's the 101. Maybe there's a 401 level that's more in depth, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's a checklist that you can download. But they're really simple to listen to. Caregiver Way is like TikTok and Masterclass Had a Baby. So think of just very ma and pa. There's a professionalism to it, but it's very approachable content. Mm-hmm. And so, for you listening, if you're like, I don't know, it sounds intimidating, it's not. And we want it to be very, very simple for you. So we're basically in Caregiver Way telling you how to do the things people keep telling you need to be doing as a caregiver. Self-care, I almost can't stand it. Like, well, Noah, you're now caring for your great uncle. Just take care of yourself.
Make sure you take care of yourself. Good luck.
Like a knock on the shoulder, a little hug, and like, you got this, go. And you're like, what does that mean?
I don't even know where to start.
Right?
Right.
Well, you would if you went in to visit caregiverway.com.
Exactly. I would know where to start.
Now, we're going to have to take a break here in just a moment. But before we go, how does somebody get started in Caregiver Way?
Yeah, so you just go to visit caregiverway.com. There's a short assessment to take just to kind of know where you're at, and you register, and then you can hop in. You can, really just start there. Hop right into the library, hop right into my community. There's journals in there you can hop in if you want to go there. Yeah. It
does cost $10 a month unless you are an Anthem Pathways member. So if you are a member, you've got Anthem as your insurance and you're part of the Pathways program, talk to your coordinator or talk to your caregiver guide, and they have a code that you can use and you can do it at no cost. But $10. And I will tell you this. If $10 is going to keep you from getting in Caregiver Way because you just can't afford that $10 a month, you email me at tina@joyshouse.org. We'll make sure you can get in. We would rather you have the information than anything.
$10. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's a business. We got to keep the business going at Joy's House, but you are important, and we want you to know that we're going to help take care of you if you need that care. So, all right, visit caregiverway.com. Can you stick around for another segment?
Absolutely.
Because Noah's going to drill you with questions.
Yes, that's what I was.
And I'm going to leave and see how this goes. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going anywhere. All right, we're going to have to take a break here on Caregiver Crossing, but we will be back, so don't go far.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. With locations in Broad Ripple and near the University of Indianapolis campus, Joy's House provides exceptional day services for individuals living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joy's House, we believe that everyone deserves to live their best life, regardless of their abilities. Learn more about our adult day and caregiver support services by calling us at 317-254-0828. Or by visiting joyshouse.org today. All right, stick around. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. I'm Tina McIntosh in studio with
Noah Taylor
and
Nicholas Sigmund.
Oh, we went whole name. We were doing middle names earlier.
Oh, really? I didn't even think of it. Nicholas Sigmund just came out, and it felt kind of
professional.
Just felt right.
Yeah, well, this is a professional setting, my friends.
Yes, it is.
So, Nick, what's your job at Joy's House? What's your title?
Yeah, I'm our community and family care coordinator.
You take care of our families.
I do.
And a lot of Caregiver Way work.
Yes, the community, yes.
So Caregiver Way, if you were not with us the last segment, Caregiver Way is our online community for family caregivers where we have content that can help you do all the things you're told to do as a caregiver. 5 categories: self-care, caring for your loved one, financial and legal, end of life, and life after caregiving, which life after caregiving, I just love that section because nobody talks about that. And I think through Caregiver Way, a lot of the feedback we've had from people is, thank you for talking about that, because I had some support, I had some knowledge, I was working my way through caregiving, and then my loved one passed away, and I just was expected to jump back in my regular life. And so in Caregiver Way, you're going to find a lot of content. There's short video pieces or articles or checklists, but a lot of videos. The videos are selfishly my favorite.
Yeah.
Of people of all walks of life and all professional and personal experiences telling you how to do the things you're told to do.
Right.
And so I guess there are a couple questions I have in there for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Do I have to be an aging caregiver or healthcare professional to create content for Caregiver Way?
Absolutely not. I mean, even like self-care, we all have different things we do for self-care. I had someone share a piece of advice that's not really involved, that they, rip up a piece of paper after they write down their thoughts on it, or they burn it or something like that. So
yes,
you don't have to be involved. You might think that you have to, but there's so much that you can share, so much wisdom that you might have.
Well, and it puts me in the mindset of how many caregivers over time that we've had at Joy's house, right? They've had a loved one in our adult day program. And then they say after their loved one passes, I just wish I had known X, Y, and Z, or I want to come back and help coach other caregivers. And you can do that through Caregiver Way.
Absolutely.
So how would somebody submit content?
Yeah, you can email it to caregiverway@joyshouse.org if you want to start that process. Submitting content, it's really easy. And, we'll give you some information on how to submit it, but it's really very easy.
Do I have to have a studio and all the fancy microphones and lights?
Absolutely not. We have so many videos. It's just somebody in their car, on their back porch with their phone, and that's, a lot of our videos. So you don't have to have anything fancy to be a content contributor.
All right, here's another question. How, as somebody who comes into Caregiver Way, so I go in to visit caregiverway.com, I log in, I've got my, Anthem code because I'm a part of their Pathways program. So it's part of my Anthem membership. I get it for free, or I pay the $10. How do I know that I can trust the information that's in Caregiver Way? Because to be honest, I have, and this is real, I have gone to so many sites over the years that tell me they've got information for caregivers, and I go there and I don't know if I can trust the information. So how can I trust it in Caregiver Way?
Right. So it's all initially, looked over and vetted by our Caregiver Way staff, those that work on Caregiver Way. And then we have a content advisory board, which vets content for us. And those are, wonderful people that have either been caregivers or that have been in the aging industry or the caregiving industry. Yeah.
So I can trust everything in Caregiver Way.
Yes.
It's current.
It's current.
It's real.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean it's all the same. So
Right.
self-care, there might be 10 different pieces of content telling me how to do something similar, but from a different perspective, right?
Right. And even like we have meditations, and not even all those are going to work for somebody. So you have one meditation that might work for one person and another meditation that might work for somebody else.
Yeah. I'm even thinking about like the caring for your loved one and brushing of your loved one's teeth when they've got dementia and they're fighting you on it. There might be, 8 different approaches to do the same thing. I find the one that works for me, and then I put it into my personal library.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's also a section called My Community, and that's where you spend a lot of your effort and time.
Yeah.
How do I know I'm safe in there?
Yeah. So, I mean,
Because it's like Facebook. Sorry, you said that earlier. It's
Yeah.
like Facebook, but only for Caregiver Way members.
Yeah. And that's part of the Caregiver Way membership, and you have to be a part of Caregiver Way to join that community. But it's we look over it. We make sure that people are not, posting anything crazy in there. So our Caregiver Way staff look at that. You can block people in there. You can report. If something's reported, then it gets hidden from there. Yeah.
So it does seem like there's a lot of really good information that's already in My Community from, different people who have different experiences, different educations, different professions. Is there some advice that somebody has shared in My Community that has been particularly helpful?
When I think about that question, I was talking to my coworker and friend Karina about this, and I think that there's so many different tips in there that might speak to different people. That's why I think it's hard to say that I necessarily have a favorite or a best, because Tina might have something in there about life after caregiving that really speaks to somebody. Or someone might post something in there. I'm going to use your brushing teeth example. It's like, oh man, I haven't been able to get my loved one to brush their teeth. So that might really speak to them. And I think that's a special part about my community.
Because these are more, again, I'm going to keep saying forum conversations where the library is content pieces. Like, it's really what you go in, you check something out of the library, right? You go into my community and you're in conversation, or you're able to at least see conversations. And so I will give this example. 1,000 years ago, I had an ectopic pregnancy, which is a tubal pregnancy, which nobody cares about the details, but the baby was growing in the wrong place. Couldn't continue the pregnancy. We would both die. It was a horrible experience and time in my life. I wanted to talk with somebody who understood as a woman going through that. And I had no one. I knew no one that had gone through it. And HIPAA protected my doctors from sharing other people with me, right? Same situation with caregiving. So I got on to my dial-up computer at the time.
That was a really good. That was really good impression of that.
Thank you. And I connected with a forum conversation out of UK. And I would be up at 3 a.m. having live conversations or going in and looking at their conversations, different time zones, different everything, right? Those women, I could cry telling you, those women got me through one of the most difficult experiences of my life. I don't know their names. I don't remember their usernames. I never spoke to any of them voice to voice. It was all through the very same thing we have in Caregiver Way. And it was a safe place for me to share the depths of what I was going through. Caregiver Way does the same thing for family caregivers.
Absolutely.
So you get to be the real you with all of the things, the questions, the feelings, the hesitations, all of the stuff. And you are... you're in a safe place. So please go there. And how do you go there?
Visit caregiverway.com.
And then what are like the first 2 or 3 steps that once somebody gets to the website they would take?
Yeah, so there's a little short, you can click join now. There's a short caregiver assessment that you'll take. You'll fill out some account information. If you're an Anthem member, then, talk to your coordinator, talk to your caregiver guide, and they'll give you a code to get in. If not, it's $10 a month. And if that's a barrier for you, like Tina mentioned earlier, email us. Email Tina, email caregiverway@joycehouse.org, and we'll get you in. It's really simple to get in.
All right. Thank you so much, Nick, for being here. We really appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody who's listening, stick around. We'll be right back with more. You are listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon & Associates. With 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest and more than 4 decades of senior living experience, Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. All right, stay put. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. It's a crowded studio here at the Joyce House studio.
We got the table full today.
I like it.
Yes.
Tina McIntosh, Noah Taylor, and then we have in studio with us, we forced Nicholas to stay with us.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wow. You really said it like you were being held hostage.
Against my will. No, I'm happy to be here. I'm just kidding. I'm
Nick,
so happy to be here.
Then we're going to get a knock on the front door in a moment. It's going to be the police doing a well check here at Joy's house. And we're excited to introduce, she has been in studio listening because she is part of the Joy's House family now, doing her practicum with us, Jaleesa King.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for sticking around for this.
Yeah, of course.
So here's what happened is that Noah, prepares our show every weekend. And he wanted to talk about something we did earlier this week, which was really an incredible night. We'll share here in just a second. And then I realized I wasn't going to be equipped to talk about it because I was facilitating this particular
You were
evening.
hosting the event.
I was hosting.
Right.
And so I know really none of the details yet.
Yeah.
But you all were a part of it.
Yes, we did get to participate in the discussion, and Nick actually was a facilitator of one of the table discussions.
Well, so here we go. I'm going to quiz all of you.
Let's do it.
So what we did, let me kind of back up a little bit. In the state of Indiana, Governor Holcomb, when he was still in office in December, put into effect a governor's multi-sector plan on aging. And a multi-sector plan on aging is a thing. We are actually in Indiana, one of the first 10 states to adopt a multi-sector plan. It's a big deal. And it's all about, I'm going to break those words down. The governor, so the state, multi-sector plan, how do we all come together to create a plan on aging. And this one's called Age Forward Together. And so what we did is we started the conversation in Lawrence Township this week. And we hosted, there were dozens of us who came together. A big thanks to Lawrence Township Educational Center and Schools for hosting us. And we brought people together from government sectors, from local businesses, from the aging, realm.
Educators.
Yeah, educators, community members. And we came together and we talked about, first of all, how are we aging well in Lawrence Township, and what can we be doing better? And so Noah prepared questions that I couldn't answer. So you guys get to help answer.
Alrighty.
What were some of the things we talked about, particularly for Lawrence Township, that we know that we're doing well when it comes to aging?
There's some good intergenerational things going on. So preschools connecting with assisted living centers, or, even choir concerts kids are doing at, other aging communities. So that intergenerational thing is something that really stuck out that we're doing well in Lawrence.
Love that.
Yeah, there was another one that really stuck out to me too. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was the senior game night that Lawrence Township
It's
has just started doing.
It's actually not in the evening. It's every Thursday from 11 to noon. I know last week they played Uno. And it's a small
That sounds
group.
really fun.
So if you're intimidated, like, I don't want to go and sit with 100 people and play
Right.
Uno. It was less than a dozen people, but it's a place to get out and be social, right? And have purpose in the world.
Yeah, and have fun. Yeah.
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 I like that.
It was also brought up that the new library branch in Lawrence Township does health fairs every now and then. So they had providers there tabling, talking about their resources. So just getting in front of the community too, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. What are some of the things we learned that we can be doing better? Time is limited. So, I know we can do better in Lawrence and everywhere. And listen, Lawrence are my people. Like, we live in Lawrence Township. My kids are, have been a part of the school system forever. You grew up there.
I grew up in Lawrence.
These are our people.
Yes.
One thing that came up is, which could be tackled on a larger scale too, but particularly in Lawrence, as we look at that, or what our school system's doing, what our government's doing to provide, not medical leave, but leave for family caregivers.
Amen.
Like, how can that be implemented in Lawrence?
Was that written down so I can look at that?
It was written down.
Fantastic.
It was written down. Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
What else?
I think I heard transportation was sort of an issue. So are there resources that can help older adults or anyone get to appointments if they don't have the means to do so? So that can help a lot. So is there more that Indigo can maybe help us do for vouchers or Medicaid cap or what that looks like? So that was a big one too.
I would even say private transportation companies.
Yeah,
if you're in, Lawrence Township or pretty much anywhere and looking to start an impactful business, look at transportation for older adults, but there's a lot that goes into it. It's not going to be as easy as driving from point A to, this is not like just, you're not door dashing a person. Like, this is, human interpersonal care.
Right. Who might need a little bit of extra help.
Yeah.
One that stuck out to me a lot was having more intentional designs for aging adults. So like more handicap spots, easier to access sidewalks, more one-story houses, one-story buildings, things like that, so that are easier to walk around in. Lighting
was one thing I heard too, evening lighting for folks, just for safety, for all the reasons, physical safety, and then safety around other people, too. All right, before we have to go, I have a question for you. One of the goals of the multi-sector plan, one of the categories is reframing aging. It's the one that I got to sit as one of the co-leaders for the work group. And when we talk about reframe aging, it has to do with how we are speaking about aging. What are ways that you can think, you're all way younger than me, and so just an interesting, quick question, that we talk about aging or we enforce like a stereotype about aging? I'll go first to give you an example. Greeting cards. Every greeting card about aging is a jab, right?
Yes.
Like, you don't look so bad for 150. I mean, like, everything is a jab.
Yeah.
What are other things?
You're like another year older. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said something really impactful at my table, that aging is a privilege and not everyone gets to age. So looking at that as a privilege and not only reframing aging for how younger adults talk about it, but for how older adults talk about themselves.
Yes. And that's a huge thing, how we talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Agreed. Anything else comes to mind?
I have one that was impactful for me years ago in a role that I had at the IU Center for Aging Research that Dr. Nicole Keith said, and I will never forget it. She talked about when schools do like the 100 days of school or dressing up as older adults, how little kids will have like the walkers pretending to be an older adult, and not everyone ages that way. So being older doesn't mean that you automatically need a walker or a cane. And so reframing the costume of an older adult and what that looks like. And I've never forgot that.
That's
you know
impactful.
what? You were so right. Yeah.
I love that. All right, that's it. We got to go. We're going to come up with answers and next moves next. But yeah, I think that's it for us for this week. We will be back next week here on Caregiver Crossing.
As we close the show, we'd just like to remind our listeners that they can contact us for more information and resources to help you through the journey of caregiving at 317-254-0828. Caregiver Crossing is supported by Cardon & Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Until next time, take good care of each other.